Okay, hi Olive. Thanks for joining us today.
Hi.
You look beautiful.
Oh, get out of here.
Where are you from?
I'm from London.
So you live in London?
Yes.
Yeah. Have you lived here most of your life, or?
Oh no, I'm on two farms
Oh,
between Tilsonburg and Ingersoll.
I see.
All of Ostrander and Clode, little tiny villages.
So you're also a minister. I heard. I learned
Yeah.
yesterday.
You won't know it when I tell those jokes today, but I am.
Yeah. How you're doing a comedy act today at the
Yes.
conference? Yeah.
Yes.
And that's what brings you to the conference?
Well, I've written two pieces of music that they're using too.
Wow. Wow. So what's the organization that's presenting?
Expressions group from my sister's place in London.
I see. And what's my sister's place?
It's a place for violence against women where they can go, and there's counseling and activities of various kinds like yoga, things to calm you and to talk about your problems, and you can come off the street there, and there's a shower and clothes and food.
Do you volunteer there?
Well, I went as a victim,
Oh, okay.
and
How long ago was that?
about 10 years, I guess, ago,
Wow.
I divorced my husband, and
That
I was also sexually assaulted and raped by clergy and police and all of the things that you grow to trust. So I have a lot of difficulty trusting people, and there's been many people who have taken advantage of me, and it's hard to trust after that, and I suffer from traumatic stress syndrome, reliving the tortures that I endured. And when you're old, people don't pay any attention to what you say. They think, oh, she's just old and doddering, and But I have 2 degrees in clergy, and last year I got 30 out of 30 on intelligence tests, so I don't really think that I'm old and doddering yet, but I'm getting there.
So I'm just thinking about what a struggle it must have been at that point, and to have to face, being alone at that point in your life. And what are some of the struggles that you faced?
Fear. I'm afraid all the time, and the dreams at night of being smothered until you pass out and raped and guns to your head. Horrible things that women shouldn't have to endure and should be able to go to authorities and get help regardless of whether they have gray hair or not.
Yeah.
It's not right.
Right.
They don't read the reports, they just call it the way they think they see it.
Right. What do you think about this conference and the topic of homelessness, the subject of homelessness?
Well, I was almost there, because he was given both houses and a lot of the furniture of my mom and dad's and tools. And I had no place to go. And I went to my doctor, had me go to a battered women's center and stay there. She said that if I didn't go, that I'd have to get another doctor, so I got rid of the husband and kept the doctor. Good choice.
Your good choice. Congratulations. Yeah. Does anything stick out for you so far?
In the conference?
Yeah, in the conference.
The ability to be able to contribute to the authorities, to tell them what we see wrong. And that's good, because they may be trained, but they've never lived it, and they don't have that same pain. And you can hug the other sisters, and your pain kind of goes into theirs and mixes together, and it eases it. But people who haven't done that don't really know that pain.
Right.
You know, I mean, they kind of, there, it'll be better tomorrow.
Yeah.
Color this picture and cut out these, make a collage. I want to help, I don't want to color a picture. I don't want to cut out pages. I want to get fixed.
Yeah, so you start in nursery school cutting out pictures, and you end up
Yeah.
in nursery school cutting out pictures. And, hey, what happened? I thought something happened in
Didn't
between.
anything develop
Didn't
you at all?
anything develop in the process? Yes.
So many of the girls know more about things that are than what the leaders do. It would be good to have more leaders who have come up through that pain so that they have the right kind of empathy.
Yes. Empathy. Empathy is so necessary.
Yeah, and there's a duplication. You know, every church has the same kind of thing, and all different organizations have the same, and they're duplicating finances. They're looking for money to do it, and they need to get together.
Right.
You know, maybe one do this and one do that.
If a national grassroots women's movement evolved from this conference, what advice would you give us as a group of women?
March to Ottawa and change the laws. We don't have enough food to eat. And the very basic things that we need keeps us from getting better. I don't have enough money to pay the bills and to eat.
Right.
Something has to get cut.
Right.
And you do that, and then you're stuck and then you're not feeding your brain, so it gets wacko.
Yeah.
And with the overstress and go around in a circle and how was your week? You know, take one person at a time and fix them, and then another person the next week. You know,
Yeah.
instead of just trying to do so much at once.
Yeah.
But we need legislation, and we need policemen and politicians who aren't anti-feminist.
Okay.
Yeah, and I had the disadvantage of religion too, because a lot of the movement came up through the love movement. You know, we shall overcome.
Yes. Yes.
And they gave up God. So if you're female and you believe in God, then you have 2 strikes against you right there. So you better shut up about
Onward, Pilgrim.
I
That's
can't-
great. I'm just going to go close on your button, because that is just beautiful. And thank you so much, Olive, for sitting down and taking the time with us. It's
You're
great.
welcome.
Yeah,
You're
it's such a pleasure meeting you. You're so inspirational.
I'm old. So
You care about your community so much that you saw men crying and saw a need for a space for them to gather and be able to have some connection, some spiritual connection.
yeah,
And tell me a little bit about that.
they don't fix them. You know.
So what does it feel like to sit there and watch grown men cry? What does it feel like? What does it do to you?
Well, I haven't seen very many grown men cry. The men I have seen have been mentally ill or kind of looking at themselves in a mirror.
Right. Okay.
They don't get it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not just right and left brain maleness, because there are women who don't get it.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not feeling it either, and they're not seeing it. You have to have been there to really have known. And there are lots of men who have been raped and beaten and rejected because of looks or because they're smaller than the bigger guys.
Yeah.
And the same stuff goes on with the men that goes on with the women.
Yeah.
And it's horrible. They got to learn to accept people. I've been wanting a peace room put in at Sister's Place so that all races and religion can go in there and prostrate, kneel, whatever way they have to reach a power that they get strength from. And, you know, they don't want to touch anything religion. They want to be inclusive.
Yeah. Well, I didn't realize yesterday that it was my sister's place that you were talking about, but certainly you would get some support there, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah. It kept me from killing cops and my husband.
But for the peace room, it must...
I would say that was help.
That's help. Okay. We're going to end it there on your gorgeous laugh. Thank you, Olive.
Okay.